So, good afternoon. This is a special showtime that we just started doing for people kind of more towards the West Coast or other time zones, whatever. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff on this platform, and a lot more interviews, getting to know our brothers and sisters doing amazing things, on Ethereum and then on other blockchains. Jen, that you guys know as Jen the Hammer, for reason. Anyway, Jen, went out and put the word out like, hey, we're looking for, Ethereum based artists or people, making cool shit or whatever, to come on the show. And if I'm not mistaken, King Pickle, that's how we met you. And so, this is like one of my favorite ones where basically we start at the beginning of the episode. It was like, well, King Pickle, nice to meet you. Tell us everything.
Yeah, everything, all the things.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just start by introducing myself a little bit and tell you how I got into the space, and then maybe tell you a little bit about what we're working on now. And so my real name's Charlie. I go by King Pickle or KP in the space, and it was a pseudonym I actually picked when I first joined the space just because I'm a big fan of pickles. It wasn't like prefabricated, like it's just I love pickles. Before I got into this space, I was in the IRL world. I was mainly focused on business development and sales, mainly in tech, fintech, and then healthcare tech, with a focus on software as a sale, with SaaS as a primary focus. But art has always been my passion and something that I've done on the side, and I've never had really the opportunity or the ability to make anything of that until I found the Web3 world. When COVID kind of hit, I was hurting for money and supplies, and things were tough. And so I switched over to digital art, and I started scouring Twitter for like art contests. I didn't know anything about NFTs or the Web3 world last year. And I ended up finding an art contest put on by an NFT OGD farmer, and I ended up winning. And from there, it was like off to the races. That was in August of last year. And I just started learning more and more about the NFT space. And yeah, I just fell in love with everything from the creator side to the community element to what's possible from the metaverse aspect. I'm a big VR gamer. And so that's like what kind of sparked my interest. Once I got into the space, I had actually bumped into somebody else that was doing a lot of trading named String Cheese. And I legitimately, swear to God, at the time had no idea, but we ended up finding out, like once we started talking, he was someone that I knew from high school and someone that I had lived with for a year after high school. And we had just completely fallen like apart and had no idea that like each other were each other. And like, we ended up just having a conversation and like got back into it. And we started this project together called The Snack Shop, which of course like rings true with our names and our pseudonyms and our passions. And, when we were younger, we used to be really into snacking. We went to a boarding school that like was strict on dietary restrictions, and you had to we're like sneaking snacks in basically. So that's kind of how we came up with the idea and how I met my co-founder and how we got into like the project development side of things. I can keep going, but I figured I'd pause for a second if.
Yeah, no, I mean this is good cake. I do want to ask you about VR gaming and stuff, but yeah, and I would touch on the like getting started in the pandemic. I think that's true for literally all of us, right? Yep. Like the Uplift, we had started this Minecraft server, my buddy Greg and I, to kind of start experimenting on through podcasting space, whatever. We just want to start doing podcasting inside a video game. And the joke is like we started with Fortnite, but like a podcast where a couple like semi-middle-aged dudes get fucking murked by 9-year-olds for an hour. It's just not that funny, right? Like it's a little disjointed. But getting into Minecraft, we were able to like interview people and kind of build stuff or whatever. And that, then a couple months later, the pandemic hits, and now we're all gathering here. Like that, like my whole family and friends and extended family, we would be gathering in this place, and that just showed what was possible about it. And then we slap NFTs on it because I was a working musician until the pandemic, couldn't get any gigs. My first NFT drop was music NFTs or whatever, and like made a really amazing for me amount of money. And that's to me was like, this world is nuts. Like that, just everybody suddenly had the time and was forced to kind of look inward into this digital space, and then it blew up. And I think it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it really felt like the perfect storm, because everyone was looking for so many things. People were looking for financial gains because things were tough. People were looking for community because they felt isolated, especially during the pandemic when people were in their homes and they were separated from their social situations. Creators were looking for an avenue where their skills could finally meet the technology and give them the opportunity, like you said, to make what to us is a lot of money. There are definitely people in this space there. I'm sure it might not be feel as much too, but for a lot of creators, this is the first time ever that we've had the opportunities to put our work out there and actually get credit or make money that allows us to do more of it. Right. So I'm glad now that I'm not doing sales. Well, I am doing sales full time, but it's for my art.
Right. It's for yourself, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's so much more fun that way.
And so we started this project called the Snack Shop, and at its core, we started the idea in December, and we started really putting feet to the ground in January of this year, 2022, and we started with just us two. I was doing the art. We contracted with some developers, but the idea behind the entire project is that it's a story and community driven project where the lore is the backbone behind everything that we do. To give you a brief overview, and by the way, this is really the first time I've talked about the lore publicly anywhere, and also maybe the first time I've shown my face.
I mean,
this is pretty awesome.
We're actually no bullshit honored. That's
yeah. So with the lore, it takes place just outside of Roswell, New Mexico, and there's these 6 high school students getting ready to finish their senior year of high school. And similar to the Breakfast Club, they all get detention towards the end of the year, and they end up going to the science lab, waiting for their science teacher to come in and teach detention. The science teacher, who's this genius who gets roped into teaching summer school in detention, one of his experiments go awry, and all the 6 kids turn into the snacks that they're eating. And these snacks essentially get scooped up, and they end up on this journey from the classroom all the way to the snack shop, who's run by this character, Papa Paul. And he's this omniscient narrator who essentially guides them on their journey to get back to school and turn back into kids before the summer, and so they can go to college. We want to tie that lore essentially into everything that we do, both through in real life utility or Web3 utility events, which we are going to call eat-ups, which we have these food tours planned. And then, of course, through our core internal mission, which is to take every opportunity that we can to actually make an impact on something that's meaningful to us. We chose world hunger, which we talk about as global food insecurity. I talked a little bit about that in that thread that I had posted, but unfortunately it's not necessarily the thing that's going to get everyone to go buy our product, but it's really important for us to have that purpose and that mission at every single step. So from the way that we're going to set up whitelist spots, which we call snacklist spots, that's all going to be philanthropy driven. It's not going to be a cash grab thing. It's not going to be an unfair process, all the way till mint and royalties and future events. Everything is going to be focused towards battling that. And a lot of people in this space right now, it's a buzzword to say philanthropy, and we want to give back, and we want to do all this stuff. And they ended up just giving 10, 15% of their mint to do that. Right. And I think that's cool, and that's great, and it's needed and important. But for us, taking steps that are actually going to make a genuine impact that we can feel and see, and that we can get the reactions from the people that it's helping, that's important to us. So we hired a donations coordinator really early on. We work with the Giving Block. We're talking with nonprofits like Feeding America to actually diversify the charities that we work with to focus on direct cash injections and then long-term sustainable solutions like urban farming. I could talk about it literally for
and I want to. I think the one thing I want to touch on before you go on is there's so much openness and desire, frankly, from almost every community that I've seen in this space, right? All the ones I want to hang out with, to not only be doing all this cool shit, but to be doing something that is going to benefit the rest of us, right?
Definitely.
Or just everybody, right? Or the people that are in the most need. And I think that the experience that we've had this year is, seeing that willingness, seeing it light a fire in people, and at least in one case, there's just it ends up working. It ends up working out, but like there's just lack of transparency, and so it seems like you guys are kind of front, loading just a bunch of stuff that people are going to recognize, right? Like, and you're going to be able to, show your receipts or whatever. And just get it to the point where like, you're actually going to be able to show your work, which I think is like critical for anybody in, situations like ours and yours, where, you actually have the ability to connect, some kind of real world good with the fun that you're having in this space and the content that you're creating in this space. It's just really stellar. So thanks for doing that. It's cool.
And I just think
talk about it as much as you want.
Yeah, I think it's just important that people are over the top transparent and go above and beyond to follow through on their efforts with philanthropy or charity or donations right now. Not necessarily because there's a lot of people that like want to take advantage of the giving side, but the taking side right now is very scam filled, and it's hard to really know where your money is going if you don't have experience in the field, which I don't. That's why we brought someone on to, that knows that. And we do want like people to have a more tangible and more empathetic understanding as to what that money's actually doing. Right. So like, we haven't like put anything in stone yet, but like on our in real life eat ups, we really want to fly or we want to like have them in places where like the food that we're bringing or serving or making or cooking is like benefiting people who actually need the food too, not just like a gluttonous thing where we're all like got all these leftovers and things. But we also want to like bring people that we're actually helping throughout this journey like into the spotlight more as well. There's a fine balance in doing that in a way that it doesn't look like we're taking advantage of someone by throwing them on camera. But we do want these people to like be able to share what the impact that this is having on their lives. I think I don't see a lot of it as much anymore, but one of the big Ethereum projects they did that was Karafuru, and they put up a giant festival in Indonesia where like a massive amount of people showed up. And I think that's a really good start, but I think we can do a lot more in the metaverse than we can in a real life festival. So for us, our long-term vision and our long-term goal for the snack shop is we want to create an annual metaverse fundraiser festival similar to Lollapalooza or South by Southwest or like Harvest Festival, and where it all takes place in VR space, which I know you both are obviously well acquainted with. And we want to bring in other NFT projects. We want to bring in famous musicians who will lend out songs or pre-record them for us, and everything going towards a good cause. We feel like we can do that in a way that's really fun for people and enjoyable, where you can go to your NFT project's booth and hang out with your community, or you can go play a game that one of the game designers from Sri Lanka designed. Obviously, there's a lot of logistics that go into interoperability, but our dreams are really big with that, and we're planning a year out for that, and we're taking it pretty seriously.
That's awesome, man. So how much do you know about the Uplift?
And about an hour's worth of research into it, to be honest. But I did look into you guys, and obviously, like, the metaverse is very fascinating to me now. And what you guys are doing is the most practical the earliest and most practical applications of metaverse.
Thank you. We agree.
Yeah. So thank you for getting people to actually realize what's possible with it. I talk to people and they're like, "Oh, so like when are you going to be able to have a VR meeting? Like in 3 years?" And I'm like years
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and this is like one of the things we just did, and we'll I should send you the article on it. So we did a Twitter Spaces, right? But it was basically just like we were meeting at the very first build. Yeah, like the pandemic started, right? We had this Minecraft server, and somebody came into the server and just made like a bunch of blocks of wood and put a sign up and put a gratitude on there, right? And said, "Hey, I'm really grateful you guys let me into the server." And like I'm a recovering a political podcaster. And the goal then, the plan then was to kind of be cynical and sort of like a little bit protesty or whatever. We had a bunch of stupid plans around what we were going to do when we were having interviews with people in that space, right? This guy, Bob Benson, comes in and into the server with us, and he just kind of erects this kind of gratitude monument, and it broke my brain. Like, it just snapped everything 180, and I just started we're going to need more of these, right? So I built a bunch of those. And then we're going to need a big cathedral. I thought it was a big cathedral. It's actually pretty fucking small. I suck at Minecraft. Don't tell anyone, right? So we built that, but then the pandemic started, and every week we would do one of these streams. People would come in and you know, like my mom would plug into the YouTube stream, and you know, Jen and her whole family, and you know, her kids would be there, and you know, Leon, her son, and it would be, you know, in game with us. So there's that feeling that you are there in that space, right? And we would all, you know, Sunday morning we would watch the sun come up in Minecraft, which is something you could do, right? The whole building is designed around being around the sunrise or whatever. And we'd have a moment of silence, and then we'd spend some time putting gratitudes up on these walls. That building's fucking full of gratitudes, like wall to wall, everywhere, right? So much so that I had to build another cathedral that's about 6 times as big, and that one's filling up now too, right? And so
first one was a chapel. This one's a cathedral.
Yes, I'm changing the name. Yeah, because Cathedral 1.0 and Cathedral 2.0 is a fucking mouthful. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But that's where, you know, like having that, we just had this, you know, kind of our first happy hour, right? And honestly, it would be great if you could come. Right? I think we're going to do it again on Friday night. Yeah. It'll be Twitter Spaces if you can get in game. Yeah. We'll hook that up. But everybody hung out, and you know, of course, you can't get a bunch of people in Minecraft together without a snowball fight starting. And you know, we put some gratitudes up in the back corner or whatever. But like celebrating that we just kind of got all of our shit back, and we own this now, and as a community we're gonna run it. And you know, that to me, like events like that where you know you have the audio component, you still feel like you're, you know, with that person, but you're in a video game where you have complete control over building the entire thing. Yep. But then in a real sense encoding your history into it. Like I can't walk into that building and like look at any one of the monuments and see that like that morning Leon was like grateful for fucking mustard or something, right? Leon is Jen's he's what, 9? How old is Leon now?
Yeah, he's 9.
Right? It's just like, and some of the darker ones, people just like really grateful that they could connect with anyone during the beginning part of the lockdowns and stuff, right? Yeah. I get verklempt. Like it's like, because it's my kind of family's history in this video game, and it gets real, right? And so what we're doing now is, you know, we're going to Ethereum. We're going to be launching NFTs on Ethereum. So people are going to be able to basically buy land NFTs on Ethereum, and you'll own that piece in you know, these new little maps that we're creating. And so the first step to that is, you know, talking to people that are doing projects on Ethereum. And if we feel like they would be good neighbors, and, you know, not that this was like an interview process, but it was, and, you know, like you passed with flying colors, like, and really like, the whole idea is anybody doing anything creatively and then saying in a very real sense, like we're going to launch this and have this benefit, you know, people who need help. I like that, you know, just fire that into my veins. Like that's like, that's the kind of, we get to pick, right? Like those are the kind of neighbors that we want. So if it's something that you're interested in, you know, we're going to have 50 projects on a survival world and 50 projects on a creative world, because there's 2 different kinds of maps, right? And we're going to be giving away you know, a piece of land to them to basically be their headquarters, their embassy in the Uplift.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
All right. So
yeah, I'm in.
So, all right, cool beats. All right, now that that's all done, yeah, we'll get the hotel. I'm excited because that's the thing. Like, so, and again, like doing this in VR is a little bit harder, right?
Yeah.
But for your big event, having some kind of uplift event attached to that, right, where you have like an audio component, Twitter Spaces, or whatever, and get a whole bunch of people in there, like it creates just an amazing opportunity for content creation, and for, you know, just having a whole other space where you can kind of go in there and have fun.
And we need one of those hubs right now anyway, as we continue to build out for a long-term vision of the Snack Fest, because, you know, Metaverse Land properties change all the time. I still don't even know if we could do anything with Yuga Land. Like,
right? Yeah, they're just pretty pictures right now.
But yeah, I think that'd be incredible. Usually, my co-founder and I, String, we usually try to do like a meeting every other day in VR, usually over like a mini golf game or something. But
that's cool. That's like, I just started doing these walk and talk meetings with like just one-on-ones with people, just to kind of, or voice or whatever. But just do it in a VR game. That's tight. I like that. Yeah. Hey, so this is in the Uplift now, and this is one of like literally thousands of builds.
This is incredible.
So this one over here, this is kind of a fun story. So the very first time we had what's called a Tuttle Huddle, my sort of lead dev / you know, sort of super genius. Her name is Chris Tuttle. She's sort of the person who runs operations. her first meeting with us, and basically the first full meeting of us as a team. While we were doing this meeting, I dug a hole all the way down in the bottom. Right, it didn't look like this. Jen came in and decorated it all. It looked like crap. It looked like this the whole way through. And so, March 26th of last year was the first huddle, and I just asked everybody what they were grateful for. That's all still here.
Wow.
Right?
It's the archives. Yeah.
Yeah. And we have like a bunch of things we accomplished this year, and there's a couple floors of that. But every floor is a month. Right? And so like we were underground the whole time, right? And then, a little while ago, it got to the point where boom, we burst out of the water. And we made some extra floors, right? So that's kind of fun. But yeah, so this is the team tower over here. And over here is the show tower. This is one of the things that we'll need to do, like for art and for sort of promoting what is going on. We get high def images that we can get installed on your build, right? So billboards, if you have like an NFT, that QR code can go to like an OpenSea link or to whatever, right? Like if you have a blog post about the charity stuff that you're doing, you get an image on that, put a QR code on it, and you just point your phone at it, and boom, you're at that site, right?
Jen, are you the main primary designer?
I am not. I wish I was that good. That's Dennis. He's
he's
amazing.
the graphics designer is Dennis. I do have to show you like some of Jen's art in here. She does like giant murals just in Minecraft, and it's insane. Like it's really fun. Anyway, this is just more stuff we put up. But every time we do a show, we put up gratitudes while we're live on the air. So
amazing.
Go do that.
Let's do it.
I had a show this morning. Here's some from this morning. But yeah, big, small, honestly doesn't matter. It's more about the practice. But King Pickle, what would you like your first gratitude to be?
Grateful for new friends. Simple and sweet.
Love it.
If you hear like some splashing in the background, that's my dog. He likes to drink water really loudly only when I'm on calls.
Cool. No, that's good. That's
perfect.
Good. It just needs to be in the show. I love it. We got some comments coming in too, and anytime anybody comments a gratitude, I throw that up while we're on there too. So Andre Abello, a really good friend of mine, he said he's grateful for Corey. Stop making me cry on the internet.
I'm also grateful for Corey.
I'm grateful for Jen, because without Jen, you would not be here. And
yeah, I'm very grateful for Jen as well.
I'm just grateful that all of this is happening the way it's happening. This is a lot of fun to be involved in.
Amen. I spell grateful properly. All right, Jen, how about you?
Do I get a whole wall or what?
You can have as many as you want. I don't care if we're here all day. Oh no, we spent an hour being grateful about stuff. What a terrible.
Right now, I'm grateful for both of you. Grateful for Corey, grateful for King Pickle, grateful for the show.
I can fit that. Yes. I'm just putting the hammer this morning. It's not even morning, it's afternoon.
Were you both Minecraft players, or like was that both your intro into like these world building?
No.
Neither?
I still suck at Minecraft. Don't tell me.
I won't tell anyone. I've been building since 2000, whenever it came out. Years.
Oh, yeah. All right,
years.
Well, that makes sense considering how amazing you are as
you turn his hole into a beautiful tomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, her mastery of colors in this. We're gonna go check some stuff out. I gotta show you because I haven't been there in a while. Actually, the Blue Room, which I need to rename, we should probably go check out that one.
Yeah.
Or maybe your town, something fun. Anyway, Lawrence, thanks, man. Grateful for how transparent Uplift 2.0 has been. I mean, that's how we need to be.
Yeah.
Only way DAO will work. Is it raining in here? Oh, I think it just turned into night. Thanks, Lawrence. Appreciate it. Yep. Yeah, these are the astral extraders too that I kind of tagged onto this. This kind of makes everything look cool.
Yeah.
So I guess we gotta go to Old World, right?
Yeah.
This is me jumping from Genesis, which is one of our maps, to Old World, which is actually the very first map that we had. So this is the other thing. Over here, every time people get into the in world for the first time, you start at the beginning of this building. I'll show you that. It's actually kind of cool. Right, so we've got like just some server rules, and just general don't be a dick rules.
Yep.
We actually have, when we were trying to like work on buying the uplift back from the initial parent company, we actually started doing art NFTs, like video art NFTs, and had those for sale to kind of help out. So that's kind of fun. So you keep walking down here, and these are all doors where you can just walk into other worlds.
Amazing.
Right? So that map that we were on, if you walk through this door, you end up there. Over here we've got Londum, which is actually, like, I accidentally misspelled random, and so we made an entire world based on that because it kind of became a meme. There's uplift too, because somebody misspelled uplift. It's weird, nerds. It is what it is. Yeah, so, and then there's this Coliseum where we had a player versus player event, right? So everybody came in and like we had prizes, and there was like a round robin murder each other thing. I actually got paired with Jen's son Leon, and he fucking set me on fire. And I died.
Funny.
It was really funny. It was good. But yeah, we're gonna have lots of different kinds of events, but situations where you could like take your piece of land and have like a player versus player or a race event, or just there's tons of different things that you can do. Trying to remember. There it is, right there. This is a room I built pretty early on to be a gallery. We kind of haven't used it yet, but we will for something at some point. It spawns in. Actually pretty cool. The coolest thing about it is what Jen built, which is this. One block at a time.
Holy.
Yeah. And like this is at night. Like hopefully I think the sun's gonna come out. I can actually set the time here pretty soon, but it's insane. like I don't even know. I wouldn't even know where to start.
How do you even do that? Like how do you have like the creative vision to be able to like, do you draw it out ahead of time and then just
Nope, just one block at a time.
Just eyeballed it?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. Sometimes I draw things out. I do have some graph paper. Like my unicorn was definitely drawn out ahead of time. I'm not an artist in that sense, but
right.
Yeah.
Even there used to be back when we villagers ended up taking too much server power, so we ended up having to nuke villagers. So there used to be a couple of guys who lived in here all the time. Yeah, I mean, like just what you could do with this palette. I just feel like Jen, you've sort of just gone over and above what's possible. Just amazeballs.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yep.
That was fun.
Yeah. So yeah, one of the biggest things about what we're doing this year, KP, is kind of connecting the tribes, right? We're going from Wax, where we have done all our stuff so far, over to Ethereum. My goal is to get us on 5 different blockchains this year. And so I have this build in mind that's going to be a giant dome, right? So picture a dome that's probably, the top will be really, I don't know, probably 100 off the water.
Okay.
And 100 blocks, right? So way up here, this thing's going to be giant. And in here we'll have, a guest build. We'll have a bunch of different billboards. Basically, like, people will be able to walk from Ethereum, which is going to be this dome over here, the first one that we're building, right? Any Ethereum world, you'll be able to walk out of there and walk to Solana, or to Terra, or to Newcoin, which is a partnership we're doing with a blockchain that's booting up or whatever, right? And just the idea that we can connect the tribes, like where, all these different blockchains always get so tribal and they're like, it's just my, it's kind of insular, right? Like they only ever think about Ethereum or they only ever think about Solana or whatever. And now we'll be promoting projects from all over the place. Like we'll have billboards up from everybody, right? Like when, when the snack shop is doing a drop, like we can have a billboard up and people from Solana will see that shit, right? And
I love that. I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
So in here, we'll have doors like in that other portal hub that take you to the world that, where King Pickle, and the snack shop have their embassy. Right? You'll just walk through a door.
Yep.
And walk a little ways down, or we're actually selling portals. So you can actually do portal hubs from really close to spawn over to wherever you want to go, right? Yeah. So there's gonna be a lot of that. But yeah, it just that I can't get this out of my head, which is why I actually started building this. It's going a little slow because I'm running a company at the same time. But yeah, so like at the end of it, it's gonna be probably 6 small domes surrounding this big one, and it'll be all different blockchains that are all connected to it.
It's incredible, and people are always wondering what the first like genuine cross-chain utility is really going to be and what that interoperability looks like. And I think this is a perfect example of the way that should go.
Right. Like, we've got an in-game currency called Upliftium, right? People earn it by playing, and you earn it by like anytime anybody walks over your land, you're earning it from that as well, right? So like you can earn passively by creating an experience and having people walk by, or just like having people come and take a selfie by your thing or whatever, right? Like however people land there, our system tracks that, and we pay out Upliftium for that. The sort of one of the more interesting things about us sort of gaming out how this is going to work is that you can crystallize in-game Upliftium into an NFT. That's actually the only way to get out of the game. We don't care if you do that on Wax or Ethereum or Solana,
right,
or anywhere else, right? And so, and other projects have started tokenizing our NFTs, right? So there's a token called Liftium on Wax that we had nothing to do with, right?
Yeah.
It's like an instantaneous conversion between our 1 million Upliftium NFTs and 1 million Liftium tokens back and forth in a smart contract, right?
Interesting, yeah.
But then we could do that on any blockchain. But it also means that you could melt them for any blockchain. So we become like an inter-blockchain source of where you can transfer value.
It's pretty crazy that people just undertook that on their own too.
It's just a game. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, it was fun. I was thinking about, kind of low key, because we wanted to be like way on the right side of any possible SEC regulation around the token or whatever, right? We just wanted to be super careful with that. And so I was just gonna kind of hint to the community, like, hey, somebody could do this. An hour and a half later, like before I could even talk to anyone, Kate on Wax had already done it.
Amazing.
It was nuts. Like it just like I literally did not talk to anyone about it at all. And Kate was like, yeah, hold my beer. Send an Upliftium NFT to this Wax address and see what happens. And boom, I got like token back. What? It was amazing.
It's so great.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, so I'm stoked, man. We're gonna get the maps for the new worlds up. Okay, here's a question. We're gonna end up having to talk to everybody about this, Jen. Do you know where I'm headed right now?
I'm not picking it up quickly enough.
No worries. Survival or creative?
Ooh.
Right. So you get to pick, because there's going to be one world is going to be creative, one world is going to be survival. Right. You'll be able to pick where you want your land to be. Now, the difference when we first started, we were entirely in creative. There is now an entire we ended up having a war. Like it was very uncomfortable being me when people started saying, hey, I want this map or all future maps to be in survival so we can actually make it fun, like the video game kind of side of things, right? And then the kind of metaverse minded people like me, frankly, were like, creative makes way more sense. Like that, like we don't have to get all crazy and like dying and mobs are scary and whatever, right? Yeah. So we had this huge, like, will they, won't they, which one are we going to go? And finally, I'm like, yeah, let's do both. Like, why pick, right?
Yeah.
That has worked out so far. So we have, now a couple maps that are creative. Genesis, where the Uplifters Tower is a good example of that, right? You can use any kind of block you want, and that's where you're going to get all these, crazy, colorful builds, or that because you can magic yourself any material that you want, right? But in the survival worlds, you have to mine it or buy it, because we actually have shops now where you can use Upliftium to buy, sell, and trade anything, right? So if you want to make a giant ship in a bottle, and I'm saying this because some crazy guy did it very quickly after the survival worlds, this particular one launched, built like a skyscraper size, ship in a bottle. So you're getting glass, you're getting coral, you're getting all this stuff that wasn't on his plot. So we couldn't get it any other way than going to all the shops and buying it all, which was really amazing, right? So like the survival districts are like very rich in gameplay and constant activity. People are like, building things and mining things and creating shops and doing all that, right? So that's really fun. And then the creative side is just like, you're going to be able to build from day one. Most people like bring somebody in from their community who like loves Minecraft or whatever. Like you kind of make a party of it, because you can whitelist up to 8 people on your plot, right? So you like build a giant gallery and then get some things in there, and then pictures in there, and then you're rocking and rolling. But there's kind of more gamer cred if you do it in survival. Am I right about that, Jen? Do you want to add anything to this? Because
I want to share my screen.
Do it.
Because I feel like this is a thing that should get noted here. This is just from our 3D map. I did this in survival for a contest with extremely little lead time and bought most of the materials. I do know how to make or find all of them, so it's not like that was a stretch. But if you're thinking that survival is going to be too tough to do anything creative and fun, it's not.
Well,
there's shops.
Can you zoom out? Like, so we've got live maps that you can get hit from a web browser, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you're seeing. So like anything that you build in world, you'll be able to send people to the world maps, and they'll be able to look at it in context.
Oh, I love it.
Right.
So my gut initially said creative side, but I know for a fact that my co-founder would pick the survival side. I know that I like the idea of being an early ETH adapter on the survival side.
So this is the thing too, that the even though it's on Ethereum, it will be connected to what we call the survival economic district, right? So you'll be able to go here. I think this is on Gratitude. You'll be able to go to Gratitude and go on all the shops or whatever. And there it is, the ship in a bottle.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Hey, can you go down slightly? I think my silly tree farm is right around there, just to the right. I don't know. I haven't built anything big. So maybe down a little bit. Yeah, it's down. It's down a little. It's right in there, I think.
You're in the snow somewhere?
Yeah, I'm definitely in the snow. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's not. I just made a goofy birch farm and some off time. Yep. Yeah. So this is Gratitude. We had this. We haven't had this booted up for that long. Probably 4 months, Jen, where people have been building these districts, and we just we made the rest of the map. Hey, that is that Tuttle's?
I don't think so, because this is in the estates.
Okay. Yeah.
And I
think
hers was over closer to my new place here.
So people are creating ice boat races.
Yeah,
right?
hers is up here.
Oh, that's crazy,
isn't it?
That's so nuts. So yeah, you basically get in a boat in Minecraft, and you all start at the top, and then you race down, and it's like bumper cars for nerds.
I love
it. Fun.
It's super fun.
How do you guys get work done when you could spend all day? Like, I could spend an infinite amount of time.
My biggest problem is like I sort of tasked myself with building this giant Grand Central Station edifice to how we're going to be doing stuff this year, just because I haven't been able to build. Like, I don't have time like that.
Yeah.
We joke, on the team sometimes it'd be really cool if we can get back to the point where we can actually play this thing. It's building the Tau, but one thing at a time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this is Genesis. This is nuts. Could you maybe show them the towers?
Yes.
Just for context. Should be right close to the middle.
Yeah, my navigation is off on the 3D here.
Yeah, right there, right dead center.
There. Yeah, so this is where we were.
So your Gratitude is up in the tower to the left, right?
Yeah, it would be behind those walls right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's fun. A lot of people build with sort of the pre-intent of being visible in this space, right? So you'll see like a lot of people advertising on the top of it, and making stuff that can be seen from, like, I call this the satellite view.
Yeah, which I think is very smart.
It's kind of fun, right? Yeah, there's just so much shit going on. So this is the first map that we launched.
How many users do you guys have right now?
So we have 8,000 wallets holding our NFTs. I would say we've got, and looking at, like, so we're dropping DAO tokens to people that hold land and people that have been burning up lithium, kind of just using it for picture installs or portal installs, whatever. I think right now, like, the core DAO is probably 500 super active people. And I think we're probably going to 5x that in the next 6 months. Like that, we have gone kind of up and down, over and of course the course of the last 3 months have been really freaking challenging for people. Just trying to figure out, whether we were actually going to survive this, and getting the company to the DAO and all that kind of shit, right? So we're kind of stripped down to the most, kind of rabid, best possible group of people to be taking things forward. A-Pedal is asking, will there be an ETH auction? 100%. We're gonna have 50 people, like King Pickle. Frankly, we're gonna have 50 communities in each one of the survival worlds. There's only gonna be 1,000 plots per map. Again, all the maps in the future are gonna be 1 kilometer maps. This is a 5 kilometer map, right? So each plot is 50 by 50. And so there's like tons of them, right? So the last space. So these new maps, we want to compress them so that it's easier for people to feel like they have a lot of neighbors. So there's going to be 50 projects in each one of them. And so you'll be able to, like, buy up land around you, and your community will be able to do that as well. And just, you'll be able to expand your empire, as it were.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a whole department going on that immediately.
Right, that's awesome. All right, so I'm getting the new map booted up like today.
Incredible.
I've got a couple of people that, like, my courier cards. I'm getting them a spot. I might be talking to ApeSwap later on today about getting an embassy, which is like, what the fuck? Okay, who knows, right? But yeah, so that's a thing, and then we're gonna get placements for everybody and just start the ball rolling. So we're gonna be doing the whitelisting for it. It's usually by NFT, like you have to own the NFT to kind of have build rights on your land. We're gonna be manually doing this because we don't have NFTs over on Ethereum yet. Right. So, I'll get you in there. And then as people from your community want to come in and start helping you build, you just send me Minecraft usernames and I'll get them updated.
Amazing. Awesome. And we'll be taking you up on that, probably an annoying amount.
No, this is why we're here. This is what we're doing. Formula 69, when will the maps update? They should have been updating over the weekend, although I know they had an issue around it. They're supposed to be updating pretty regularly. But we've been having some issues with the server side.
How often do they typically update?
I mean, we want it to be within like a couple hours.
Oh, okay.
But like getting the every once in a while, like the server architecture just starts getting like really annoying. So A-Pedal said, ballpark, what's the price on Ether? The starting price on the auctions? We're not gonna even make a call on that until we get a lot closer to it. Just because there's too many market conditions to kind of bring into play. Like we literally do not have a number. I want it to be low enough, frankly, that we are very confident that they will sell out. Like that's sort of the starting bid should be low enough so that we just know that's going to be the case. That's kind of
everyone's really dealing with that right now, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, we when we started back in December, Dutch auctions were hot. So we, like, of course, paid a bunch of money and had our developer write a contract for like a unique Dutch auction. And then we ended up scrapping that because, just for our type of project, PFP projects, it didn't make a lot of sense. And the market was destroying Dutch auctions and everyone was not happy with them. We just, for our mints, we're doing 0.088 ETH and then 0.069 ETH for OG snack list spots. So if you got a snack list spot, it'll be a little cheaper.
Okay. That's cool.
And then obviously what that means depends on the price of ETH at the time too in June. So
right. I mean, that's, you know, it's a dynamic universe.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's hard to plan for.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, my game is to just outwork it. It's just like bring more grind than is necessary by a factor of 2. And I hope it works.
Yeah,
I think it will. Honestly, like this is the third conversation I've had now around like you're fucking early on Uplift Ethereum stuff. So thank you, Jen, for hooking this up. Thank you, King Pickle, for just being the kind of person who I instantaneously want to have as a neighbor. But yeah, I mean, if this conversation is like, I would do 10 of these conversations a day and just be in my glory. It's super fun. Like, it's because there's been a few times where like when we were doing this in Genesis, like a year ago when we were first beginning, right? Kind of did the same thing, right? It's like got, you know, a lot of the biggest projects on Wax that kind of come in and kind of see what we were doing and kind of get excited about it or whatever, right? There's a couple that were just like kind of glassy eyed and they didn't really care. I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, cool. And they're not.
We want you to want to be here.
100%. Like,
I'm like a little embarrassed that I hadn't even heard of Uplift as much as like I now know that I should have.
But this is awesome for us too, right? Because we hear this every once in a while too. Like, how have I not heard about you? A, we need to do our marketing job better. B, like, welcome, right? Like,
but I'll tell you, anytime people ask me Metaverse questions about what's coming in ETH and Metaverse, like this is gonna be my first place I go.
I mean, it's where you're gonna live. Like we're gonna get you set up too. Like that. Have you seen any of the? You probably haven't seen any of the gallery videos yet, have you?
No.
Oh yeah, buckle up. Where do you think I should start, Jen?
Oh gosh.
How do you feel? How do you feel about it's like either kind of the mall gallery or the Vine gallery?
Kind of leaning toward the mall or the Vine.
Right. Probably. I mean, just looking at. I mean, you definitely don't hate Star Wars, right?
No. What?
Okay. Buckle up.
Super cool. Like literal chills.
Yeah, the first time I saw it was the same. I was like, I couldn't even really understand. Like the second we started putting pictures up, people kind of started getting it, and then it was I think the Rocket Gallery did it first, and the Mall Gallery was kind of the second one that was just nuts. Hey, Jen, thank you very much for the private message. So okay, yeah. So King Pickle's got to run. Thank you so much for coming on. We're gonna have you back, and definitely like anytime you want, you're releasing anything or anything's going on. We actually have a blog at where we hide all the alpha.com. So anytime you want a write up on there about anything you have going on, just let us know. and we can get that up there. I mean, we're a family, right? I mean, that like the better you do, the better all of your neighbors do. That's just kind of the way it goes.
Likewise, those doors are always open from the snack shop. Anything we can do to provide value for Uplift, anything we can share, blast out, anything we can build or be a part of.
Get in, build a headquarters, have a blast doing it, get a bunch of pictures up, and I'll start showing it off like crazy. I mean, that's like the quicker you get that done, the sooner I'm like, King Pickle's been here for like however many days, and they've already got this stuff going on. Like this,
already got someone in mind who's like a Minecraft pro, and like they're gonna be my call after my next meeting. I'm calling them next, and we're gonna chat.
Brilliant, awesome,
perfect.
Cool. Good to meet you, man. Thanks for just hanging out.
Corey, Jen, pleasure and honor. I'll see you guys out there.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
I keep forgetting the little. Oh yeah.